time I go in to YC, Catherine stops me. She tells me what I'm driving, and she's never wrong. I always appreciate the keys she's handing me. So my name is Jason Woods and welcome Chasing the Apex. Behind me I have a bit of proper American muscle. Check this out. Hi, my name is Jason Woods and welcome to Chasing the Apex. But today, we're not doing that. We're not chasing any Apexes. I'm gonna take you back to 1948. You know, a different time. The girls dressed sharp, the boys dressed sharp. You went out and you cruised and you went and had a good time and you spent time together and you actually spoke to one another. And I'm gonna talk about how this makes me feel, right? So, I mean, just looking at this vehicle, there's a moment of nostalgia, even for me, and that time was well beyond my time. But you gotta imagine yourself, right? You're putting on a suit and tie, you're going to the big dance. That's how this car makes me feel. The sound, right? It's got a 455 big block in it, and so it's no slouch whatsoever, but you're not, let's be honest, you're not trying to drag race this, man. You're just in it for the ride. And so I'm gonna talk about that a little bit and how that makes me feel, because it's funny. Automotive passions are all different. For some of us, it's speed and agility and, you know, going out to wreck a canyon. But here, I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling an air of romance. You know, I'm feeling an air of, yeah, man, it's okay to just enjoy myself. It's okay to have a picnic basket, you know, and this is absolutely amazing. So as an American who spent a lot of time in Europe, right? When Europeans generally think of Americans, you know, they're thinking hot rods and they're thinking hamburgers and hot dogs, and, you know, they're not really thinking about, you know, the car culture as it is here. We were always into European cars and driving quickly and chasing that adrenaline. But this, in addition, this is really us, right? You know, when you think of an American, this is what you're thinking of. You're thinking of, you know, hot rods cruising down the boulevard on a Saturday night and going to get ice cream with your best girl. And, you know, obviously I don't have my best girl with me, but I dig it. I mean, I dig the feeling behind it. And I love the steering wheel. Obviously, this is a custom steering wheel, but this steering wheel is just so nicely shaped. You know, this has got, I mean, obviously it's got new brakes in it, you know, new suspension. It's got a Mustang front end, and it feels like it'll go. But again, that's not what I want to do. You know, I want to sit here and talk to you guys about it, and I want to sit here and talk about really what a work of art it is. You know, so when we're talking about that, right, when we talk about that hot rod fashion, things weren't only fast in a straight line. It wasn't just quarter mile times that made these cars what they are. I mean, yeah, they would chop them up and they would lighten them up so they would do better quarter mile times and go race each other. But they were also works of art and individual expression. And so that individual expression is expressed through that customization. And we see that here, right? The owner of this car is expressing themselves in an, you know, in an artwork form. This is, you know, this is an expression of themselves and what they want and what they desire. And so you're kind of experiencing that. You almost feel, I mean, I almost feel like I'm invading somebody's home, right? Like this is something. I don't know what memories they built in this, but I imagine they were pretty awesome, because it's more than just like, cars are more than just, you know, pieces of metal to show off, right? They're memories built. And so when you go driving somewhere and when you have people with you, you're building lifelong memories, and that's what these cars do. So when you're talking to people and you're like, oh, they're a motorhead, you know, they're a two-dimensional being. That's not true. Some, you know, most car people I know are some of the most passionate people I've ever met in my life. You know, they're artists, they're authors, they're, you know, avid readers. They all have hobbies, right, outside of that. But their cars are an expression of those other interests too. You know what I mean? So you can tell a lot about a person by the car they drive. And if I had this in the garage, I mean, I wouldn't be able to help but admire it all the time. And it's really like a trophy, right? It's a trophy of what I've accomplished in my life. And, you know, you can kind of feel that. There's a lot of lineage going on, and a lot of history, and a lot of care. And, you know, I kind of feel like I'm, you know, looking at somebody through a different lens, you know. I'm looking at them through the lens they look at themselves in when they look at the mirror, look in the mirror. And I think that's just really, frankly, it's kind of touching. So final thoughts, right? You know, I mean, really, it's very nostalgic. It's very romantic. It's just very cool, man. It's very Americana, man. You feel like this is what being an American is. And I really dig it. I really do. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's not the modern, it does it all sports car. It's something different. It's very, very special. And you can feel the heart and soul that went into the creation of this. I mean, starting from the paint job, which is this beautiful black, I mean beautiful green, and it's got these ghosts like light green flames in it, and I don't even know how to make that come out on camera. And this is one of those situations where it's like, I don't know how to communicate to you, the viewer, how this feels to me and how lucky I feel to even be doing this. And so this is a moment of, this is very, very special. And so I want to give a special shout out to Catherine from YC Auto Group. So every time I go in to YC, Catherine stops me. She tells me what I'm driving, and she's never wrong. I always appreciate the keys she's handing me. And this one in particular, she said when she bought it, she thought of me directly. And I gotta be honest, man, thank you. Because this is a lifetime opportunity you're providing, and you have been providing. And I don't even know where Chasing the Apex goes from here, but I don't know if it gets any better than this. So thanks for watching Chasing the Apex, and we'll see you next week.